What's going on, my little gingerlings, and welcome to the Ginger Chronicles. I'm your boy Country, my buddy Henny back with me again. What's happening,
What
bro?
up? What up? I'm good. I'm good. Just chilling.
Hell
I'm
yeah! Hope you guys who like football checked out our picks that we did earlier, our Week 10 picks. We went over what we said for Week 9. But we're not talking about NFL right now. This is the podcast. Y'all can check out the our weekly NFL picks only on our YouTube channel. That's this Ginger Chronicles podcast on YouTube. But of course, y'all listening to this either on Spotify or Google Pod, Apple Pod, or hell on YouTube itself, wherever you're listening to us right now. I thank you very much, and hit that like button, show some love
smashed
for us.
it.
That's right, smash that shit. Anyway, Henny, man, whoa, what a wild week. Um, Wild week, man. Yeah, we've got a new president-elect of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden. I know a lot of people out there are probably pissed off about that. There's a lot of
No
people
clap.
happy about that, but we're clapping.
Look at
75 million.
light clap.
Even though the current president, hey, he's contesting it. He's filing lawsuits. I think so far, I think he's had like 9 lawsuits, but all of them been thrown out. So I mean, whatever. The states are certified at the end of the month. File the electors on the 14th of December, and then we'll inaugurate Mr. Biden on the 20th of January. So next thing, bro, let's talk about Alex Trebek, the Jeopardy host, man, who died this past Sunday. He's been battling it out with
Oh,
battling out with pancreatic cancer. 80 years old, man. He lived a good life, but it's still a hard way to go. 4 decades he was with Jeopardy, man. It's crazy. 40 years, bro. Almost 40 years.
well, no, I'm not. See, you're gonna make me feel old because Jeopardy actually aired its first show the day I was born,
Yeah, 1984.
September 10th, 1984. That's the day I was born. That's my birthday.
Damn.
So, if you're gonna say fucking 40 years ago, I'm
um,
36, bro.
yeah, I just turned 37, so I said nearly. Hey, I said nearly 40 years. So yeah, so 84. 36 years ago.
Yeah, rest in peace, my friend.
Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. I mean, the sad part is that the show is talking about going on, and I'm like, who can you replace Jeopardy? You can't replace Alex Trebek in Jeopardy.
No. That is an iconic show. It's time to close it out with the host who started it.
Yep.
There's nobody to put. And what's funny is we already know how they do this. They won't even do a good job replacing him.
No,
They'll
not
pick
at all.
like Wayne Brady, which he's a great guy, but I don't want him hosting Jeopardy. Okay.
Honestly, man, I wouldn't be shocked if they picked one of the most I wouldn't be a huge fan of Jeopardy, so I don't really know a lot of their names. But I mean, there's a couple contestants that was on the show multiple times that won for a long time. I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled one of them in to give them a shot at it, just because how knowledgeable they are.
Yeah, my first experiences with Jeopardy are from the movie White Man Can't Jump. And Rosie Perez, his character is like studying for Jeopardy. I'm like, what game is that? Yo, I want to play. And then I watched it, and I'm like, they answer with questions. That's weird. And
So
it's go ahead.
I was just gonna switch the subject a little bit. And, ask you about your comedy. Like, how's that been going? Any dates or future dates or anything?
Yeah, I got to actually have. Unfortunately, a lot of comedy clubs and everything, they were starting to do a lot of shows the last month and a half, and with the spike, it's kind of retracted a little bit. I do have a show next Tuesday, the 17th, live at the Tin Roof here in Orlando. Um, I'm going to be doing it as much as I can and use this as an opportunity to try to better myself and learn about the game as much as I can.
Hell
As
yeah.
long as I wear a mask and stay away from people and make fun of them, now I can make fun of them. I got a couple extra steps to run away from them if they want to do something. I got 6 feet, at least 6 feet. So we'll see. I'm doing comedy as much as I can. I'm about to start releasing. I'm always like I'm about to start releasing a lot of videos, but you know,
Right.
whatever I can think of, I'm writing. I'm writing for Will Speed now. He has a Back to the Funny comedy series he does. So back in the game, baby.
Back in the game.
Yeah. Oh man. Be like Eddie Murphy getting back in that Netflix game. His special's gonna be coming out soon. Eddie Murphy got his first comedy special in a long, long time coming out soon.
When's that supposed to drop?
Let me look that up. They're keeping it under wraps. And I know that he's been out doing like random comedy rooms over the last probably 7, 8 months to prepare himself. That would be so crazy if you were at a club and they're like, yo, Eddie Murphy's here tonight. You're like, what? Yeah, they're keeping that on lock when that comes out. But I know he had a special. He's like, I think Eddie Murphy might be one of the highest paid people on Netflix right now.
Either him or Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's got a lot of good.
They
He's got
spelled
his.
high too. Yep.
I mean, I don't think he's making anything off of his show. I'm sure all that's going to Comedy Central, but his specials and stand-ups, man, have been pretty hilarious.
Yeah, he probably is that because he probably gave up all the right to that when he quit right in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy, I'm sure he had to pay somebody. Well, actually, it's not. I'm sure. If you watch the Netflix show, My Next Guest with David Letterman, he talked pretty candidly about what happened when he quit the show. Uh, I don't blame him for quitting the show. You know, I don't want to say he run out of ideas, but his show is so iconic. Key and Peele kind of took the keys from him and moved us into the next era of comedy. As far as sketches go.
Oh yeah, like I told you earlier, like I've been watching his Chappelle show on Netflix, man. Just rewatching. It's been a long time since I watched them, and it's just still hilarious.
What is your favorite sketch? Can I know mine?
Um, the white supremacist is probably
The
still my
first
favorite.
one, oh man.
Yeah, it is still. I mean, that of course, Little John was hilarious, but I mean when he played. Hold on a second.
Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah, when he played Clayton Bigsby, man, that was shit was just awesome.
I hate them. They stink.
And then he divorced his wife and called her in lover. I was like, wow.
My favorite ones actually, besides the Rick James Prince E True Hollywood Story and the racial draft. So it's the World Championship of Dice. They got Ashley Larry. Ashley Larry doing the dice in between taking the trash outside. That's the funniest thing that's ever been on TV. And when he blow the dice, just ashiness. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, that show is iconic. So, I mean, what can you? I mean, he gave it to us. He made $30 million and gave it all right back to Comedy Central. So good for him.
Yep.
He gave it all back and then some, and then some.
Yeah, I think that was the best part when he quit out of nowhere. And at the
Well,
height of it.
and like as somebody who's worked on television and worked on movie sets and done every job from running water and coffee to being a grip, those shoots are long, bruh. He was
Yeah.
probably, I know he was doing 22-hour, 23-hour shoots with sketches, and that drains you, bruh. It drains you.
Oh yeah, it would drain anybody.
And you get sick of doing it after a while, and then he has to live up to the I mean, he set this bar that was like so you can do that and you're good. Unattainable. Unattainable. Because the first two seasons are like the best two seasons of, you can put that up against two seasons of any show that's ever been on television. And it would hold up.
Oh yeah, easily, easily.
Right. MASH,
Yes.
Fresh Prince. Yeah, I said MASH first. I said MASH.
You say mash?
Yeah.
Damn,
The
you taking
greatest.
it back to the old
Woo!
school.
I remember waking up to that. My dad was in the Marines. Happy Veterans Day, by the way. But
Happy Veterans Day to all those that have served, do serve, and sure to those that will serve. Wouldn't be here without all the veterans. That's for damn
better
sure.
anybody who served is better than me because I wasn't doing it. So you are better than me, my friend. Thank
Yep,
you for
takes a lot
fighting.
of balls.
Thank you for dealing with what are them spiders? Camel spiders. They always tell me about camel spiders. And
Camel spider.
yeah, they talk about these big old spiders that are in the Iraq, Iran,
You say
Iran.
Iraq?
Is it Iraq? Iraq. I know it's Iran, even though people say Iran. But either way,
I ran.
they talk about these huge spiders that lived in the desert. And I thought they were joking, but they're all absolutely serious. They exist. And that's why I'm not joining. No camel spiders.
I ain't afraid of those spiders.
But yes, thank you all. My dad, thank you, Dad. Actually, every male in my family has been in the military but me. So
Damn.
grandpas, both sides, uncles, every uncle, all of them. So here I sit, not a military man, but I had cancer when I was 20, so that's my excuse.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
That's my excuse, at least.
What kind of cancer was it again?
Non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
Mm.
Got to stage 4. I had brain, legs, you name it, it
Oh
was
man.
there.
Damn.
And here
What
I
was the
sit.
what was the treatment like?
I actually have a documentary about it. We'll throw the link on it with this because I made a documentary about it. That's on YouTube. That's done very well.
All right.
It sucked. It was probably the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life, which is why I was supposed to do 7 rounds of chemo. Not to mention, let's just start from the beginning. I felt a lump on my neck. It didn't get treated. Eventually, I lost feeling from my waist down. My dad carried me to the hospital. They did an MRI. They told me I had cancer all over my whole body. They gave me
Damn.
Dilated, which is a painkiller. I remember I took it. I floated off my bed. I woke up a month and a half later, even though I had been up. I'd already done 3 rounds of chemo and about 32 rounds of radiation. They said I was going to die at that point, and they were just keeping me comfortable. So they gave me more dilated. And luckily, the
Wow.
cancer disappeared.
Wow.
There's no way. They were done doing chemo. They weren't going to do anymore. My body couldn't take it. I had no white blood cells. I remember they took everything out of my room, everything out of my room. My room was bare. Nobody could come in my room.
Oh wow.
And then I remember like around my birthday, he came and he was like, "It's gone." I was like, the lump was gone, everything, but I couldn't feel my leg. So I started doing therapy to learn how to do everything in a wheelchair. So I actually still have my wheelchair. I still have a wheelchair accessible house. I learned how to play basketball, get in my car, drive as somebody who can't use their legs. I went to Veterans Hospital in Washington, D.C. to rehab with veterans who had gotten their limbs blown off in wars and whatnot. And what they do is there's no doctor. You wake up, you live a whole life as somebody without said limb. They'll help you if you really need help, but you wake up, you go get breakfast, you go to the library, you go to movies, whatever, but you're doing everything in your wheelchair. You go to the gym, And then right before I was about to leave the hospital, like 2 days, I could move my toes, like out of nowhere. This is out of nowhere, bro.
Oh wow.
Uh, the doctor took my wheelchair and was like, all right, that's going. And I got a walker. It took me about 3 years to be able to walk like normal after that. I couldn't run for like almost 2.5 years. So I put on probably like 200 pounds. I got so fat. And then I lost that weight after I got out working out on a walker and everything. I just built my strength back up. Meanwhile, the cancer never came back. So there's a lot of luck that happened, and a lot of blessings that were given during that period.
That's amazing. So
It's crazy.
you were 20 though whenever
Yep.
you said you were 20 when you got diagnosed.
I was 20. I turned 21 in the hospital the day I found out I didn't have cancer anymore. And my fraternity brother, this is really funny. That was the day that Kanye West late registration came out. So we were listening to that. They brought me a bottle of vodka. I poured it into my hospital cup, drank like almost all of it, passed out. So then all the vitals start going off, like while everybody's down, and all the nurses ran into the room, like, "Oh my God!" They try to wake me up. You ain't waking me up. I'm drunk. I'm
Right.
drunk. So like they could not wake me up. Like, and they're like looking at my stats, like, "What the hell?" Like my sodium was off. And then they like smell my
So
breath. They kicked everybody out the room. It was funny.
so all right, so how many how many months would you say? So you were already 20 when you found out. Because you said you found a lump on your neck, and then it got so bad that you lost feeling waist down to where you couldn't walk, and your dad had to carry you to the hospital. From that moment, and you said when your 21st birthday is when you found out you no longer had cancer. How many months was that?
So I was in the hospital for 6 months. I went to the hospital July 1st, 2005. So September
Okay.
10th, 2005 would have been where they were telling me it was gone. Here's the thing. My cancer came from toxic water from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. This is a proven fact. So it was either in my body or manifesting in my body my entire life. There would be times when I was playing basketball where it would feel like somebody stabbed me in my back. But I would think it
Right.
was elbow or whatever. Instead, it was a huge tumor growing on my spine
Damn.
that got so big. I wish I could show. I mean, if you watch the documentary, you can see how big it was. I still feel it. It still feels like it's there sometimes when I'm sitting.
Wow.
It felt like a weight. It felt like I had a weight on my back. Uh, so once, so then it took 4 months with the treatment. Now remember, I was passed out for a month and a half. So I mean,
Right.
I was there, but I wasn't there. Like I had all my fraternity brothers came. I had girlfriends coming who should never have met. Um, it was a wild time. I had a lot of support. You know, my parents were there every day. My dad was there every day. I'm lucky, very, very, very lucky. I'm dropping
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, because you said you even got to stage 4, didn't you?
Oh no, I was stage 4 when I got there.
Oh wow.
When I arrived, I remember looking at the MRI. It was all cloudy. It looked like somebody like blew some smoke all over my body.
Oh wow.
It looked like somebody was sitting on my pancreas smoking a blunt in my body. And they're like,
Damn.
"Oh yeah, all that's cancer. So what we're going to do is keep you comfortable until you die." And that's what they told me.
That is crazy. So pretty much like I mean, did they actually put you in hospice or?
Well, no, because here's the issue. I was 20, so they didn't want to put me with the old people, and they couldn't put me with the young people. I also had like infections, so they had to put me off to the side. Like I like I said,
Right.
I remember when I took that medicine and I floated away. Now the issue with that is now I can never take another painkiller as long as I live. I stay away from Tylenol, all of that. I can't. If I take anything morphine, Percocet, I would be a junkie on the street. I had to go
Oh,
to
wow.
unfortunately, I had to do drug rehab while I was in the hospital because I got addicted to Dilaudid because I didn't die.
That is crazy.
I remember they gave me a pain button. So, like, people don't know how those work. The medicine doesn't come out every time you hit it.
Right, right.
It just counts how many times you're hitting it.
Yeah.
And they said one day I hit it like 27,000 times, like something crazy.
Damn.
I just kept hitting it. And I was probably just going like that.
Right.
Yeah, it was not a very fun time at all. But here I am. That's why I changed my whole outlook. That's when Hennessy Williams was born. He was
Hell yeah.
born a different person, changed man. No more basketball, no more football, no more sports. It's over. I was a very good player. I was good enough to play professional overseas, not in the
Right.
NBA or anything, but I could have went. I would have been more than happy to go overseas and try to start a career. Uh, that would go. I couldn't jump. I couldn't jump anymore. I still can't jump.
Hey, but man, at least you're still here. You got kids now, married
Exactly.
with kids. I mean,
They gave me a piece of paper when they gave me that medicine when I first got there. It said, when we give you this chemo, you're never going to have kids again.
uh,
And I was like, again? I was like, who told you I got kids? I got kids somewhere?
so you've had 3 kids since they told you that, huh?
Since that, yeah, with the same person after I got married. So sit on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
People be like, oh, as far as I know. If I got other kids anywhere, hello. Yeah.
So what's the name of that documentary? I'm gonna put a link definitely. You said,
It's called Out of the Box. Out of the Box. Look up the Hennessy Williams Experience, Talk of a Nation. Um, that's the short version. There's a long version. Yep, I made that about a year after I was recovering, I guess you want to say that.
out of the box and said Hennessy Williams version.
The Hennessy Williams Experience or put Talk of the Nation. You want me to send you the link? Too? This is America!
How long's the video?
Hmm? You found it?
I found something that's like 9 minutes and 23 seconds.
There's an Easter egg on that video, too. Like you might find out some things about me
Oh
that you
Jesus!
did not know. I sent it to you.
All right, I think I found it, but let me look and see what you sent. Yeah, I found it. So it is though. If you're out there, you can either if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll definitely see the link. I'll even put it as visual in the video right here. If you're listening to us on Spotify, on wherever you listen to us on your favorite podcast, Google, Apple, whatever, check out of the Box. Just pretty much type in Out of the Box Hennessy Williams in YouTube. It will be the first one that pops up.
Yep.
It's the most goofiest looking black guy right there in the thumbnail of it.
Oh, he's so pretty though. He was even prettier 13 years
uh,
ago.
the whole film looks like it's 9 minutes and 22 seconds. I will definitely check that out, my brother. That's impressive, man. I can't believe in all the years we've really known each other, we've never really talked about your cancer battle. I mean, I remember you telling me when we first met back in the day that you had went through cancer. That was years ago, so I don't even remember if we actually talked about it. I don't think we did at all, really.
Whenever I bring it up with people, it's kind of funny because, especially when I'm like, it started with a bump or whatever, and then they start feeling themselves, and then then I become Dr. Hennessy, and they're like, oh, I've had a bump for like 8 years. Am I, am I okay? I'm like, I don't know, yeah, but
Yeah, I went. I mean, anytime I have a bump, like I've only really had one that I can really point to in my adulthood, and it was on my hip, and it was actually a cyst. And I remember going to the doctor, doing a physical and stuff like that. And I had them look at it, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, it's just a cyst, nothing to worry about." Well, she didn't tell me if that sucker pops that there's a lot to worry about.
Oh,
Yeah, man, that damn thing popped. We went to Dallas on New Year's this year for the Preds hockey game in the Winter Classic, the one they have in the big football stadium once a year. And the Preds run it this year, so we drove to Dallas for it. So the whole 11, 12-hour drive, I'm driving with a belt on right over that cyst, a seat belt over it too. Sometime in that weekend, it popped. It got red, but it wasn't that bad until I got back home. Then it got really red and started hurting. What was happening was it popped underneath the skin and was causing an infection.
yeah.
And I went to the clinic. Went to the clinic. They had to pop that shit. That was some pretty gnarly stuff. Um,
I,
always get checked out if you like have any
yeah,
pain, unusual pains that last. Like I've had an on and off pain in my back. Not really my back. It's like my lower back near the kidney area. But like only when I sit down for a long period of time does it start hurting a little bit. But it doesn't. It's not like staying around. So of course, next time I go to the doctor, I'll bring it up with the doc and see what tests we can do just to make sure there's no issues. But always, anytime you've got any kind of like pain that's reoccurring, lumps, anything, get that shit checked out. You never know what it could be.
now, or you could be like me. I'm a vegan now, so
I
the
tried
vegan
that for like
diet.
3 months a couple years ago. It just didn't stick. I love
It's
chicken.
as somebody who that's I don't think I'm going to stick with it forever. You just got to keep that kind of meat out of your life. Sometimes,
Yeah.
some of it's just not good for you. We are not. Let me sound like a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but we are not meat eaters. We are not carnivores. We started
Shit.
out.
I am.
We started out as herbivores. The people who went and hunt stuff down, they're eating nuts and berries and leaves, dog. If they got some meat, that was a good day. Like that was a great day. And then that was also natural, unmessed with, fresh, right off the bone, cooked over a fire meat, no preservative, just a little bit of earth, a little bit of water, and a little bit of caveman hair. We're there. But yeah, check that movie out. I mean, it was a long experience. But here I am. I try not to dwell on it. I just try to. I've worked with many people with cancer. If anybody has cancer who's listening to it, all I can say is keep a positive attitude. Mine was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I said it to every person. And after I got out, I got a little bit of all three of them things, if not all together at once. So just
Hell
think about it and you can get through it. Just stay positive, man. I know it
yeah.
sucks. I've went through everything you could think of in a hospital. I know it sucks, but you can get through it.
Man, I'm glad you're still here, brother. Like,
You know?
I lost one of my best friends to cancer earlier this year, so I know how like just seeing him go through that. And I mean, he got diagnosed stage 4 metastatic kidney cancer in beginning to mid-April, I think, during quarantine. And then he
Really?
unfortunately,
Yeah, man.
he unfortunately passed away mid-August. So
It went that fast.
that fast. I mean, it happened that fast. Like, I mean, so I mean, I've seen how quick it can happen, and
Yeah.
it's nothing to mess with. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're still here, man.
Yeah. I think about it every time somebody that happens. I'm like, when Chadwick Boseman, what happened with Chadwick Boseman? I've had a close friend of mine
Dude, that
pass
was
away from
crazy.
cancer. He's talking to me. I remember his last conversation with me,
Yep.
and he's asking me what I did to live.
Hell, a lady we worked with together in Florida at you remember I'm not gonna say the name of the bar or her name, out of respect for her family. But where we met, what a restaurant
Right, right.
bar we met at, and she worked there, and she passed away. She had kidney issues, been on dialysis. Dude, she went into hospice the day before my buddy did, and passed away the day before my buddy did. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, 2020 has been one of them hell years where I knew one lady who passed away from COVID. I've seen a lot of other people post people who are passing away, a lot of famous people passing away. I mean,
That's
2020 has been that hellacious year this year, unfortunately.
that's why people, I don't want to hear this. I hate the term quarantine fatigue. I hate that term because what are you having fatigue of? Living? Because you can die.
Well,
If
I
you want to go
mean,
outside, I know people want to go out and like. I get this from somebody who has had their share with the justice system and knows what that's like to be
right.
truly locked up. Go have that party for a little while and then tell me how quarantine fatigue feels.
Well, I think majority of it has to do with cabin fever from staying inside. Like, I've been isolating because of COVID. My isolation period ended yesterday. Um, I went to go get another test done just to make sure I'm negative. I should get the results tomorrow. But when the doctor, when the hospital, whatever, wherever they're tracing, collecting information, when they called to talk to me about and try to trace my steps and all that stuff, they told me to isolate until the 10th. And just that time of isolating for that week or whatever, it was 10 days or whatever, sucked because you're staying in the same four walls.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean? So I can see how people, get. I mean, yeah, hey, like you said, they're still alive and breathing. You know what I mean? We're still here today, building for tomorrow, and that's what we have to look at. We're still here. We're still carrying it on.
bless, bless.
Blessed as hell.
No
You know what I
matter what
mean?
you think it's from.
Yep. Like everybody's been asking me how's COVID been for me, and I've been honest. I've gotten extremely lucky. Like for me, it's just felt like I had for a little while I had a sinus cold. I mean, I was achy the first 2 days that I had symptoms. Other than that, I lost my taste for like a week, my smell for a week, which is good because I had gas for a whole week too, so I didn't have to smell that shit. But yes, I mean, I've gotten lucky, no fever, and I've been symptom free for a few days now, so I've
Now,
got real lucky.
you've never been sick or anything before, like had any kind of real big like cancer or anything like that, right?
No, as far as like sick, I've dealt with bronchitis most of my life, every other year, blah blah blah. As far as cancer, no, I've gotten lucky. I haven't had to deal with that yet. Any big issues yet? I've been lucky. Of course, the older I get, that could change. So that's why I've got to get back on the habit of taking care of myself, eating better all the time, working out back again, and all that stuff, which is what I'm working on right now.
They didn't call you high risk. See, that's what they.
Oh,
My
I've
mom
been high risk for
every
years.
day. She's like, that you're one of the highest risk people. Like, do not go out anywhere. Don't do anything. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm high risk. High risk.
Man, here's the way I look at it. I understand taking steps like eating healthy and working out to prolong your life, to live a healthy. I understand that. But hell, we're high risk of getting hit by a car the next tomorrow. So I'm not gonna let anything really stop me from living my life. I'm gonna enjoy my life because who knows, I could drop dead tomorrow. So I'm gonna live today as it's my last day and enjoy it while I can.
Yep, I think about it every day. But hey, Alex, Rip, my friend, rest in peace, my
Rest
man.
in peace, Alex Trebek.
You'll remember, you are remembered. Trust me, you are a staple in our culture and our memory. Nobody will ever forget you. Ever, 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 ever.
And I think that's gonna be it for today, man. I'm ready to call it a day on the show. Anything else you want to talk about, or you just want to wait for another time?
Nah, we're good, man. I mean, we'll talk about the draft next week.
Yeah, look out for that. We'll either put out a show doing
Well,
our picks for the draft before what we think, or we might just say screw it and do a live show. We will let y'all know. I'll let you know on the Facebook site if we choose to do a live show for the draft 1 week from today. But my boy Hennessy down there, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Ginger Chronicles. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Check out the Ginger Chronicles. Until then, it's your boy Country, and we are out.
Yes, sir. Later.